everybody, and welcome to another Reflexology blog with me. And I have got the gorgeous Kelly Hainsworth with me today, and it's a delight to be here, having a cup of coffee with you. We hope you're all having a coffee with us as well, and we hope you enjoy our chat. So, Kelly, welcome to my Reflexology YouTube page, whatever it's called. I couldn't think of an original, really fancy thing, so it's just David's Facebook, no, not Facebook, YouTube channel.
No, I think that's absolutely perfect. Nice and simple. Everybody knows you. So
well, I don't know that they do.
Oh, I think they will after this.
Oh no! But thank you very much for the coffee.
You're very welcome.
Very nice.
You are very welcome, and thank you for asking me to be your guest on this special channel, David.
Oh no! It's a pleasure. I've got some questions.
Okay.
Some of them that I've prepared.
Okay.
And some of them that the viewers from last time have sent in. So thank you very much, everybody, for sending your questions in. And so shall we get started?
Absolutely, let's go for it.
Right, okay. So the first one, the obvious one. I mean, you are so well known for running Love Reflexology. And basically, it's a case of, for those of people who are out there, because this is YouTube rather than Facebook.
Yep.
Tell us about Love Reflexology, what it is, what it does.
So, Love Reflexology came, it was an idea that came to me one evening. I was sitting at home back in August 2017. I've been actually practicing reflexology since 2008, and I love reflexology. I'm incredibly passionate about it. Yep. But the one thing in my business that I really missed and was kind of struggling with a little bit was feeling quite isolated and lonely.
Oh yeah.
And I really craved work colleagues. You know, that connection where you can speak to somebody who is equally passionate about what you do. Yeah. And I thought, how can I be in touch with people? How can I have a set of work colleagues and friends that share the passion that I do, that we can celebrate the good times, the success stories, that we can say, actually, I'm really not sure about this element of my business, and have somebody to connect with. So I was thinking about it that evening. I thought, I'm going to set up a Facebook group, and it was as simple as that. And the name Love Reflexology simply came because I love reflexology.
Don't we all?
As we all do.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I set it up, and it was, I'd never run a Facebook group before, and I didn't know if anybody else felt the same out there. Did they feel lonely in their profession?
You weren't a social media guru at that time?
I was successful with it in my reflexology business, and that was a great way for me to get my reflexology clients. So I felt comfortable using social media, but I hadn't been an admin or done anything like that for a group in this way. So I set it up, and I didn't know if anybody would join. But I thought, I'm just going to have a go. And
put it out there.
Yeah, put it out there.
Yeah.
And even if 10 people connected and we all shared something together,
that would be
positive. Yeah. And I would have those work colleagues.
You've got slightly more than 10 people now, haven't you?
So it did grow, and it grew very quickly and much more than I ever anticipated, David. So we currently have 4,200 and something members.
4,000, good grief.
It is growing on a daily basis, and the beautiful thing that I wanted to do was to make a group that invited reflexologists from all over the world.
Yes.
All associations and any level of qualification. So we do have a real mixture of reflexologists in the group, bringing all kinds of experiences and knowledge to the community. Yeah. So it's quite unique in that sense.
But that's brilliant, because say if you've got someone who has had to do a shorter course than other people would have done, they can be lifted up by those people.
Absolutely.
They can be helped and encouraged.
Yes.
Because not every part of the UK or every part of the world has got the same training.
Indeed. And I'm now finding situations where there are members in the group who have done perhaps an online course, for example, which can be an insight into the industry and give you that starting block. Yeah. But now we're seeing, because they're aware of the level of training that's out there now, they're going on to further and deepen their knowledge. So they're going on to the level 3 and 5 courses because they're aware now, whereas before they weren't.
No.
So it's empowered them with that knowledge.
Yeah.
And what I really, as Love Reflexology is really growing, my core value for it was to connect, support and empower. So we're connecting to each other, we're supporting each other, but we're also empowering each other within our businesses.
Yeah.
So we're now, you go into Love Reflexology, we've got treatment discussions, we've got social media how-tos, we've got setting up your treatment room. So there's a real mixture.
Isn't it?
Everything to do with being a reflexologist in that community. And what's blown me away actually is the level of support everybody gives to each other. And with it being an international community, I get up in the morning, look at my phone, and there's been activity in the group where people are still supportive.
Because people are 24 hours. Absolutely. It's like sort of, I've got a cousin in Australia.
Yes.
What is it, 11 hours behind, or no, 11 hours in front or something like that. So as I'm going to bed, she's getting up.
Yes.
It all happens.
So it's all happening around the world. All the time. So I get up in the morning and I always go into the group.
It must take you forever.
I'm just very strict with that. Very organised and very strict. So that evolved beautifully, and then I set up the Love Reflexology directory because what was happening were practitioners were saying, do you know a good course for working with babies and children? Do you know anyone in this area? So I set the directory up, and that's a resource there for reflexologists to look at good CPD courses, find an event or a retreat, a conference, a therapy supply. So it's another element there to support them and their businesses. So it's just evolved organically. I'm overwhelmed with, to be honest, how much it has grown. I really am, and it's going to the conference last year that Stu Ricks organised.
Oh, wasn't it cool?
Fantastic, absolutely beautiful. And for me then to meet those people that I spoke with online in Love Reflexology,
of course,
was wonderful.
Yes.
Take that online connection offline and do the face-to-face. Just brilliant.
Because that's the thing as well. It's a case of there's so many people, and you kind of your friends on Facebook, so to speak, but actually, when you get to meet them, I would imagine it's so much more special.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful, and that's one thing I'm now seeing with Love Reflexology. Lots of people are making that connection online, but they're now taking it offline. So people are having coffee meetups, they're doing treatment swaps.
Oh, wonderful.
There are people working on projects.
You were like a coffee.
Absolutely. And this is what I always wanted. I wanted to bring our profession together. And work together and support each other, because I'm sure you appreciate a lot of us work alone, and it can be very lonely.
Absolutely.
So to have that network is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I think I'm very blessed in that because I teach, I don't feel lonely. I've also got a lovely team of tutors that work with me, and it's amazing. There are graduates who I trained years ago, and they still keep in touch. And it's so lovely.
Fantastic.
It really, really is.
That's brilliant.
So, just as a question about Love Reflexology is on Facebook, isn't it? Okay. So, is there a way to access Love Reflexology if you're not on Facebook? Because not everybody's that comfortable with Facebook, are
Indeed.
they?
A lot of reflexologists have a bit of a love-hate thing with social media, and I know some choose not to be on Facebook. So, if you want to involve with Love Reflexology, the actual community part, so the closed group, is only on Facebook, so you do need to be on Facebook to access that element of it. You can see Love Reflexology on Instagram and Twitter. They're both on there.
Right.
And interestingly, the Instagram account has grown phenomenally actually since August. And not just from reflexologists, we're getting members of the public who love reflexology as much as we do.
But
and also,
that's not closed,
no,
though, is
so
it?
that's an open forum.
Right.
But if you want to be in that closed setting where you want to network in a safe, secure space, you do have to be.
Just in case anybody's not quite sure what on earth we're talking about, just explain the difference between a closed group and so what would be.
So a closed group, I obviously as admin, I have to allow people into that group. So for that to happen, they have to answer a series of questions because I need to know they're a reflexologist.
Now this is it. So you can't just Google Love Reflexology and see the whole thing.
No. Absolutely not.
You kind of got to knock on the door and
Yes.
you've got to answer it.
All as you would see is the cover photograph.
Mm-hmm.
You can see how many members it has,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it.
Right.
You cannot see the content if you're not within it.
Right.
So if you want to join, you would send a request, and then you would be sent a series of questions that you have to answer to be allowed into
To
that
show
forum.
you're a reflexologist?
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely, because to me, reflexologists need to know they can talk in a secure setting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm very strict, and I do turn a lot of people away.
Right.
I have recently had so many members of the public that want to join it, and they will put, I want to know more about reflexology.
Yes.
They want to know more, but it's important to me that it's just for reflexologists, so we can talk about treatment things, business issues, in a safe space.
Right. Sounds like there's a demand for a public
Possibly
shop
so.
window, doesn't it then?
Possibly so, and that's what I'm finding on Instagram.
Yeah.
We're getting members of the public that are really looking at it.
Right.
I actually had a journalist contact me last week.
Oh, how exciting!
Who is a writer for a very well-known magazine.
Yeah.
Who was looking for a specific type of practitioner. So I've now, because of my contacts in the community, been able to put that out to people I know that that's relevant to. So it's opening up other avenues, having that public setting. So that's quite exciting as well.
That's cool. Wow. So obviously we've kind of looked at sort of what gave you the impetus to start Love Reflexology, which is the social side of it. So you've already sort of covered about you've answered the questions here already.
This is the problem. I'm so passionate.
No, it's brilliant.
I just go off.
It's brilliant. Well, that's actually what it's all about. We're having a nice chat, and it's just great. It really is. I'll just turn the page over there.
We'll ignore those.
How do you see Love Reflexology evolving then? What's
my vision?
Yes.
Okay. So a lot of you will be aware we have a new website launching for Love Reflexology. Hopefully it's going to be the end of the week. I have been poorly over the weekend, so I'm a little bit behind on some of the things, but I'm going to try and pull all the stops out and get that out for the end of the week. So on there we're going to be having we're launching with some articles written by some very well admired tutors. So they're going to be on there. We're also having a podcast. I
saw that being advertised.
So I've recorded my very first one.
Was that scary?
Do you know, it was brilliant.
Good.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. My guest was a pleasure to interview.
Are we allowed to advertise who it was?
It's top secret.
Oh.
It's going to be announced on the day.
Okay. Oh, I see.
We're just going to tease you all a little bit.
I'll not draw you on that one then.
And the idea of the podcast will be to, again, inspire, connect and empower reflexologists with leading people in the industry, so the tutors, with all the latest developments, and just really make people feel even more connected.
Yes.
So I'm really pleased actually how the first one went, and I'm lining up guests, so you will be invited.
Oh my goodness! Okay.
So hopefully, if you'd like to join.
Of course I would.
Yeah.
You know I would.
So it was wonderful, and just another opportunity for people to get to know the tutors and the methods behind what they're doing. It was wonderful. And then in terms of moving forward with Love Reflexology, one thing, not just the business support side of it, I also want to have a real focus on self-care for practitioners.
Oh.
Because
a matter after my own heart.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. So important.
Really, really important. And just being in the Love Reflexology community and seeing and hearing all the stories that people share. Self-care is so crucial.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a big push for Love Reflexology moving forwards. Because if we don't take care of ourselves as practitioners, we can't give our best to our clients.
No. It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
And you get so many people, they're sort of like, they're so keen to get going, and they're sort of either putting too much pressure on and then they strain, or it's a case of that the client's sort of encouraging them to do more or too much too quickly.
Absolutely.
And then if you're not comfortable position you're in when you're giving reflexology, I mean, it's a case of you kind of get some people with that don't maybe say practice on a wheelie stool.
Yes.
And then they're kind of having to bend over. It's what I call the leaning Tower of Pisa position. You can sort of imagine it. You're kind of leaning over like this to do the arm and the leg.
Yeah, all awkward positions.
Yeah, and it's good. Do you ever get bad back? And they go, yeah. How do you know? It's like, just straighten up a bit, love, you know.
Yeah, get a wheelie chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You've got to look after yourself.
Yeah, so self-care is going to be a huge part of Love Reflexology moving forward, as well as obviously the business support side of things. There's going to be lots of resources there for people to use. There may be some possible future collaborations with other organisations. I had an interesting phone meeting with somebody the other week who's interested in collaborating with Love Reflexology. So there's some interesting things happening.
I mean, this is so exciting.
So I never imagined, David, in August 2017, when I was setting up my little Facebook group, that it would blossom to what it's becoming.
So, I mean, this actually goes to a question that I've got, which is way down the list, but it's probably a good place to put it in. Do you still have time to treat people?
I do. I absolutely do, because I feel I still want to practice. It's my passion.
Yes.
It really is. And if I'm practicing, I get what all the other reflexologists are going through. So I understand what it takes to get those bookings. I understand the challenges that they're facing. You know, it might be negotiating your room rent. It might be deciding, what treatment couch should I use? You know, the basic practical things. And because I'm still doing that, I get it, and I can respond in an appropriate way and help and support them the best I can.
Yeah. And also, you're giving it from the heart then, rather than just, oh yeah, I know the theory, but actually not doing it yourself.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so I still do 3 days treatments at the moment over in Ashton-le-Zouch. And my diary is full, and I've got a really lovely client base. I'm very lucky.
Oh, that's fabulous.
I'm very, very lucky. And then I split the rest of the week between my mentoring work and all my Love Reflexology things. So
brilliant.
It's a really nice, for me, it's a really nice mixture.
That is great.
Yeah.
I'm going to get onto your mentoring work in a bit, if I may, but can I ask you a question? Different. How actually did you get into reflexology in the first place? So,
2006, it was just before my daughter's first birthday. My brother died suddenly. My youngest brother. He was only 20, so it was a huge shock. The whole family. It was, I was busy preparing for my daughter's birthday party, so it was. You can just imagine the shock that we all felt.
That's awful.
So the months passed, and you had the funeral and everything else. And in our culture, it's death and bereavement aren't really talked about, are they? It's a real taboo subject. So everybody else went back to normal. Everyone's lives went back to normal.
Well, probably just but not in reality, because we're so good at putting a face on, aren't we?
Absolutely. And but I was really struggling to relax, to switch off. I couldn't sleep. Sleep for me was one of the real big ones. And I can remember chatting with a friend one night, and she said, "Why don't you go and have reflexology?" And I'd heard of it, but I didn't know a lot about it. And to be honest, I was at that point where I thought, I need to try something. And I didn't want to go down the route of sleeping medication or anything that. That's not me. So I found a reflexologist. And my first experience of reflexology was actual gentle touch reflexology. And the lady I saw was trained by Sue.
Of course, it's just down the road from us.
Just down the road.
We are the epicentre of reflexology.
Everything happens
in the East Midlands, it does, doesn't it?
So I took myself off, and I was nervous, I will admit. I was thinking, what's
going to happen?
And I was already feeling a bit tender and vulnerable and tired. And I had this treatment, and the only way I can describe it is that I felt like I was being given a hug. And I felt this kind of wave of peace that I've not felt for months. That's the only way I can explain it. And I went home and I felt really tired and just exhausted. And I could almost feel like some of the stress is leaving me. Went off to bed, and that was the first night I slept through for months. And to sleep well when you're grieving and trying to support parents and be there for the family. To have that sleep, to give me that sense of energy was incredible. So I had more treatments, and I had a lot of treatments, and but it got me on track.
Yeah.
Absolutely got me back on track. And it just made me feel stronger and ready to deal with what life was throwing at us. And as I got stronger, I said to my husband, Stuart, I want to learn about this.
Yeah.
There is something really special in this treatment, and I wanted to go on and help people with reflexology as it had helped me. I felt
perfect. Yeah,
I just felt so passionate about it, and I needed as well a new focus.
Right.
I needed to feel like I'd got a purpose in life and a new path, because I was actually on maternity leave with my daughter at the time.
Right.
So I was off work, so I was ready for a new challenge, if you like. So I found a course, and I trained with the beautiful Alison Walker.
Oh, Ali, she's gorgeous.
I have so much time for Ali and so much respect.
Yeah.
So I trained because Ali was under International Institute of Reflexology then.
Yes.
And obviously she's gone on to now set up her own.
Contemporary College?
Yes.
Let's get an advert in there, shall we?
So,
Contemporary College of Reflexology. In Birmingham and in Manchester.
And Alison is a beautiful lady.
Oh, she's amazing.
And an incredible tutor. So I trained with Ali. The course was phenomenal. Learned so much, and I was just ready then to go on and help people, because I just felt there is something so special in this treatment.
Yeah.
And I've been very lucky actually over the past few years to support lots of clients who have also been bereaved. And because of my experience, I can see the different stages of grief that they're going through, and I can support them.
And
provide
you're
that
not
space.
just giving sympathy, you're giving empathy.
Yes.
You've been there.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that's
you can
so
connect, and they know my story. You know, I've blogged about it on my website, and some have actually come to me for that reason, because they know I get it.
Yes.
And they know they can come into the treatment room, they can cry if they want to, they can be peaceful and go to sleep if they want to, they can talk about their loved one if they want to. They're in control.
It's safe, aren't they? Yeah.
And they also now say they feel like they've been hugged.
Oh.
And when you see them leave the treatment room, just a bit lighter, and like a layer has been lifted off, that layer of pressure, that layer of sadness, that for me is so rewarding.
That must be actually almost out of such adversity from how this all started, must now give you such satisfaction. I think so. That's not a good enough word somehow. But do you know what I'm trying to say?
Absolutely.
To be able to think, out of all of that, you've managed to create something so wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, I dedicated my training to my brother.
That was the word I was looking for.
And I you know,
this is so unrehearsed, gorgeous.
But it's great. I love how natural it is. So I dedicate my training to my brother, and every day when I'm in the treatment room, is there in my mind, and I always think if I can help someone, then a positive has come out of what was a very horrible time in my life. Yes, it really is, and I think you'd be very proud actually now of everything that's happening.
He would. I bet he's up there going, "Go Kelly, go Kelly!" Absolutely. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, so. We've already talked about how long you've been a reflexologist as well. You've already preempted that. If getting back to social media then, if somebody was wanting to learn about social media, are there any places they should look?
Oh gosh, there are so many places now for learning about social media. YouTube is a great place to start actually. There are loads and loads of geeky experts that, you know, that's their field, that's their passion. They know everything about the subject, so there's loads of free tutorials on there. So it's always a good place to start, have a look.
That's where I was looking for sitting up. How do I do a YouTube channel?
It's perfect. It's the place to go for how-tos.
Yes,
it's absolutely perfect, and it's free.
Yes.
Because a lot of reflexologists, when they're starting out, you know, we don't have big budgets to spend on marketing, etc. So if you can access something that's free of charge, perfect.
Nobody gets into reflexology to become rich, do
no,
they?
Exactly. Exactly. You do it for passion and the support. Yeah. I have my business support page on Facebook where I do share tips on social media issues, and they're up-to-date tips, but they're also relevant to our industry.
So you've translated it so it's relevant.
Yes, so because not everything that's happening in the social media world is 100% relevant to reflexologists.
No.
So I kind of pick out the things that are, and I will share that, and also within my newsletter that people can subscribe to on my website, and I share tips and how-tos in there for free as well. I wouldn't buy a book on social media, simply because it's changing and evolving all the time. So by the time you've got your book, you've read it, it's out of date, it's moving on. So I never buy social media books. Everything I would
that's so interesting, because if something goes wrong with my computer, I'll look on the internet and it'll tell me how to fix it. And actually, it's a case of, hang on, my computer doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah, that's so true.
So I'm thinking, right, okay, let's have a look at the dates of, that was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, in ancient history.
Absolutely, things are progressing and evolving so much. I mean, there'll be so many changes on Facebook and Instagram this year. So if you bought a book, it's just not worth the investment. Read and research online, much more cost effective.
Okay. So, talking about social media, are there any sort of rules that you should follow if you're, say, creating a business page for your reflexology business or something like that? Are there any rules that we should be?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of reflexologists, and I am still seeing this on Facebook and on Instagram, they're using personal accounts for their business.
Right.
And I would highly recommend that you have your personal one for personal, so connecting with your friends and your family. Have a business page, set that up properly, because it A, makes you look more professional, but B, you will access features that you can't get on a personal account. So for example, on Facebook, you will get the option to set up your services, so you can really highlight those. You can put your location map, you can write a story so you can tell people a bit more about yourself. That's not on the personal account. And I do see it a lot with reflexologists. They're really reluctant to do it and have that sort of separation almost.
Is it because maybe that with a personal page, it's a case of you kind of got all your friends, and so you're thinking, well, they're all going to be able to see me. And you don't have friends on a business page, do you?
No.
It's likes.
It's likes. And it is daunting when you first set the page up. You think, what if I don't get any likes? What if nobody's interested in what I do? But you do need that separation, and you will find people that connect with what you're about.
Am I right? It may be a myth, one of these things that you hear online, but is Facebook actually looking at people that have got what looks like a personal profile, but running it as a business, and they're actually closing them down?
Yes, they are clamping down more than ever.
I've heard that.
It's true. More so.
So that's all the more reason to have a business page.
Because, and I am hearing cases where reflexologists have been promoting things on their personal accounts, and they've been having their accounts temporarily closed for perhaps a month, some longer.
That's almost like having a slap on
it is.
You naughty person, don't do that.
That's a business account.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're really watching activity now.
Right.
So it's the right time to be setting up a business account.
Okay.
Also for Instagram as well. Make sure that you set up a business account and it's open. Because I'm getting a lot of reflexologists following the Love Reflexology page, and it's obviously for their business, and their accounts are closed. So you have to request to follow it.
Right.
Now, if I'm a potential client...
Oh, I see what you're saying now. Right, okay, yeah.
So if, say, I'm a potential client and I'm looking at that reflexologist's page, am I going to request to join and follow? Probably not.
No.
I would move to the next person who had a business page, that it is open, I can clearly see their website link, a bit about them on their bio. So you need that open account, and it's a business account.
That is a little nugget of gold. I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah.
Because I do use Instagram, but I only really use it for the fun things. I don't use it for my reflexology at all, really. Although I was surprised with how many reflexologists do use their Instagram
It's very
account.
popular, and as I mentioned earlier, Love Reflexology on Instagram's grown phenomenally since August, and we are catching up with the Facebook group. We've got over 3,000 followers now on the Instagram account, and that's grown even since Christmas phenomenally. Wow. But the accounts are following are reflexologists, and they've got closed accounts.
Right.
So when I first look, I don't know.
Well, that's just like having a shop.
And the door's closed.
Yeah.
And the shutters are up.
Yes.
So it's like, I'm here.
But you can't see me and I don't want you to. That's almost the message.
Yes. So as a potential client, if I was trying to find a reflexologist, I would just move on to the next business.
So guys, literally, you've heard it here.
Exclusive.
Hot off the press. If you've got an Instagram account, make sure, a business Instagram account, make sure it's open. Yeah.
And it's open for potential customers to view what you're about, what your services are. You can write a lovely little bio. Yeah. You can put your web link in there. Yeah. Make it easy for potential customers to find you. Wow. Don't close the door on them.
Gosh. Okay. That is awesome. That really, really is. Now then, you mentioned mentoring. Mm-hmm. What's all that?
Mentoring evolved very organically.
Right. I know what it is. It's so important. But, wow, for reflexologists particularly?
Mainly for reflexologists, but I do have other therapists contacting me, and I have worked with other therapists. So my mentoring work evolved very organically. I was approached by a reflexologist a few years ago and said, can you help me in my business? I'm really stuck. Yeah. So I worked with that person on a one-to-one basis. We looked at, really going back to basics, business planning, target setting. Who's your target customer? What's your treatment room setup like? Real back to the nitty-gritty of business. And I worked with that person to get them back on track, re-energise their business. Yeah. Sometimes they're just to sound out ideas and that moral support to know that somebody is with you. Yes. It's really important. So it just grew and grew and grew, and I'm doing a lot of mentoring work now. And the beauty of it is, with technology, I mentor clients all over the world. I worked with a lot of reflexologists in Canada and America last year. And obviously in the UK and Ireland, and with Skype and everything, it makes it possible to do that. Yeah. So for some reflexologists, I will work with them on things like business planning. For others, it will be the social media side. Right. How do I set up an Instagram account, or how do I get people to connect with what I'm doing? Yeah. And we work very much together as a team for their business. And it's beautiful when you see those reflexologists blossom. Okay,
so the next question we've got is, what do you like to do to relax?
Oh gosh, so many things. At the weekends, I love to see friends and family. So nothing better than all getting together, sharing some food, which leads me on nicely to my next thing that I love to do, and that's cook. I find cooking very relaxing, getting into the recipe. You have to be really mindful, don't you, when you cook? Right. So that's one of my absolute...
And are we talking baking, or are we talking savouries?
I do like to bake, but I don't think my hips would like it if I baked too often. So I like to do dishes. So at the moment I'm experimenting with new vegetarian recipes. Right. I did a lovely chickpea and sweet potato curry last night.
Sounds delicious.
Which the family all really enjoyed. So for me, there's nothing nicer than making a dish and then sharing it with everybody. And
this is so you. You just like doing things for other people and seeing them blossom, seeing them happy. Yeah. That's you, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is me. I get such happiness when I see people relaxed and happy. Yeah. So what's nicer than, your loved ones and friends around the table, sharing something that you've created, just relaxing and having fun together.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. That sounds gorgeous.
Yeah. That's my ideal way to relax. Brilliant. I do also like to dance. So you may see me bopping in the kitchen of an evening while I'm cooking and get the music on and have a dance.
So we may see you bopping. Does that mean it's on Facebook?
Oh my goodness, no. I don't think the world needs to see Kelly Hainsworth.
I would have loved that. That would have been brilliant.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? But I would be the first up at a wedding or a party.
Would you?
Oh, absolutely. I love
Fabulous.
music. I love to dance, and it's just such a wonderful way to just really relax and
I
express
have to
yourself.
agree, because I do like dancing myself.
Okay.
And you may have seen me and Jane Sheehan
I
dancing.
did see a couple of videos last year, which were fabulous.
It's just so relaxing. It's just lovely. It really, really is.
It's a good release, isn't it? A good
It
stress
is.
release.
It
I
is,
think more
totally.
people should dance. So,
And I mean, with Strictly Come Dancing so popular, I think actually more and more people
I
are.
think so. And there's a new programme out at the moment.
The
Greatest Dancer.
Yes.
We are hooked. I love it. And all the different genres of dance. And it makes me want to get my dance shoes back on, because I used to dance when I was little. And
what ballet?
Oh, I did ballet. I did
you?
tap. I did contemporary.
Wow.
And I think the dance is still there somewhere.
Trying to get out.
So in the kitchen of an evening, having a boogie.
One day, Kelly, you need to do a video so we can all go, wow!
Well, maybe. Maybe.
Now then, I have got some questions sent in from our viewers.
Fantastic.
So here we go. In your opinion, what is the best type of CPD to do?
Oh gosh, this is something I get asked actually, especially from newly qualified reflexologists. For me, I would always think about your business.
Yeah.
So have a look at who your clients are, what type of people do you work with, and book onto CPD courses that are going to connect with that target client, and that's going to really enhance your treatment and deepen your knowledge.
Right.
So that's one of the first criteria that I would always look at. And then secondly, I would look at CPD as well that allows you to grow as a person or to inject new energy into your business, because sometimes when we are working alone, you can get a bit flat, a bit demotivated. So when you go on to CPD days, and it might not be a formal course, it could be a retreat, it could be a conference. It injects so much energy into you as a person and into your business. I know last year when I went to, and as you did, we went to the UK Reflexology Conference, which was phenomenal. I was buzzing for days after. My clients were probably fed up of hearing about it, but I had so much energy.
But it gets you like that.
It really does, because you're with like-minded people who share your passion. You're swapping tips, stories, advice, and it just injects that passion into your business again. So even if you don't want to go to something to learn a new skill set or enhance your knowledge, go to grow as a person and inject new passion into your business. Don't feel you've got to book on to every CPD course going.
No.
Because there are lots.
There are.
There are lots. And
you're going to spend so much money.
Yes.
And you don't want to be spending more than you're earning.
Exactly. So be really realistic about your business and how it will fit in nicely with what you're offering.
Yes.
But do them, because like I said, they're a great way to grow as a person and as a business owner.
Fabulous. Okay. So, do you have any tips for making a successful career in reflexology?
Okay. So, first of all, and really important to me, and I know to lots of reflexologists, is putting your customers, your clients at the heart of everything you do. So you've got to think about the people that are contacting us. A lot of them are going through very difficult times in their life. It could be stress, it could be ill health, a whole host of reasons. So from the moment they contact us, we need to make sure their experience is really positive and easy. So first point of contact may not be face-to-face like this, where we can really connect with our personalities. It might be that they're coming to your website. So when they come onto your website, can they get the information that they need easily? Are your prices on there? Is your location of where you offer treatment available? Are your hours of work on there? Because they need to get that information easily. They're already probably stressed.
If it's not there, they're going to just go and look somewhere else.
Exactly. They're already stressed, perhaps time short, don't have time to be searching for information or even calling you. They want to access it. So from that first point of contact with that potential client, make it really positive and easy. the treatment really is only one element of what we do.
Right.
And we're all amazing at that. We're
all,
you know, we all offer.
You are.
I know there are so many practitioners out there. We all offer such beautiful treatments,
yeah.
and we really look after our clients. But it is only one element of what we do. Yeah. So make sure the journey from that first point of contact until after they've left the treatment room, positive experience. Because then what happens is if they're happy and positive, that's when you get the word of mouth recommendations.
Oh, and that is where it's so important, because then you get the snowball starting to roll, and then it grows bigger and bigger.
And indeed, and then you get known locally as the reflexologist to go to.
Yes.
And that's what we all want. We want to be helping people, filling up the treatment room and supporting people. Yeah. Secondly, I would really importantly actually say, know your numbers. And this is something in an area within the business that not a lot of reflexologists like to do, and that's talk about money. But if we don't get to grips with it, we won't have a sustainable business to allow us to help people with reflexology. So when I'm working with my mental clients, I would always say, look at what income you honestly need to earn from this reflexology business. Be really truthful about it. Break it down. Look at how many clients that you need to get that income. Yeah. Take off your costs. Take off time that you want to have for annual leave. I know that some practitioners like to have the summer holidays off because they're with their children. Yeah. You know, factor that in and be really honest about it. And when you've got that information, you can then create a sustainable business. Yeah. And if you've got that, that allows you then to help people with reflexology. Perfect. Also, really importantly, set aside a rainy day pot, because there are days when we're ill and we have to cancel clients. Your child might be ill, so you have to cancel. Yes. And when we're not working, we're not earning. Yes. So have a pot of money set aside so that you're still financially viable and can get you through those more difficult days.
Very good advice.
Really, really important. Also, maybe look at income protection policies. You know, I was chatting with a reflexologist last year. She'd injured her hand and couldn't work for 6 months. Gosh. Imagine having no income for 6 months. How can you survive? So be really honest about it. And when you are, you actually create a good foundation to then move forward with your reflexology business and then help more people. And then finally, I would say be visible. And that's just not online. So we are, of course, it's important to be online. Yep. Website, Facebook page. Yes. Use that to be visible online. But be visible in person. Attend networking events. Go and give talks.
Oh, yes, yes.
You know, I've done WI talks, local ladies luncheon talks, and a lot of them do have a speaker's budget, so you will get paid.
I was going to say, it's brilliant. You don't have to pay to do your advertising. You get paid to do it.
Indeed.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, I did a ladies' luncheon group a couple of years ago, 50 ladies, all within my area, all my target client base. It was fantastic.
They were eating at the palm of
your hand.
It was wonderful.
Well, we did some hand reflexology.
Oh!
Food was on nicely. We had a 3-course dinner afterwards. I got paid to do it.
Sheer hell for you.
Oh, it was most dreadful. But in terms of visibility, I was in front of 50 new people.
All actually who were interested and just needed to be given that little nudge as to, this is why I need reflexology.
And they were so interested and incredibly supportive. Going and giving a talk, it's quite daunting the first time you do it.
Oh, tell me about it.
It really is. But they're all so lovely and they want to hear you. They want to learn more about it. So go and give talks. It's a great way of raising your profile.
But it's smashing fun at the same time.
Oh, it really is. We laughed so much actually. And when everyone was doing hand reflexology on each other and having a bit of a go, we had such
that's
a
brilliant,
giggle.
Because then you got all of them involved.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
We did. We because I did my sort of introduction bit and I did the history of reflexology, etc., and about my business, but then you know, I wanted interaction and I wanted them to be involved. So we got everybody, we got the hand charts, they were practicing on each other and, you know, how can I help my back pain and how can I help this? And we had so much fun. It was brilliant.
Good.
So get out there and be visible. And finally, do carry your business card everywhere. There are so many...
Yeah!
Oh my God!
Oh, I've got my business card with me.
And that wasn't staged. That's a well-equipped business man. But seriously, everywhere you go, there are opportunities to talk about reflexology and what you do.
You never know when it's going to be.
Absolutely.
The moment will come.
No, I was Christmas shopping in Leicester before Christmas, chatting to somebody in the queue.
Yeah.
We were talking about stress and all kinds of things, and I ended up telling them what I did, and they asked me, "Do you have a business card?" Yes, I do.
Ka-ching!
Yeah. And then
Absolutely.
they can go away. They can research me further. Look on my website. Again, last week I was in a medical appointment, and somebody in that setting asked me for my business card.
Yeah.
So there are opportunities everywhere.
Yeah.
So always carry your business card. Speak with passion.
Yeah.
Because people will really get excited then about what you do.
Yes.
Because if you're excited and upbeat, they're going to.
It's contagious.
Absolutely, and they will connect with that. Yeah, I need to.
Yeah.
I need to learn more about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, all those three things most definitely do.
That's lovely. Now then. Oh, no, I've already answered this one. You've already answered
sorry.
this one. Here we go. Because we know that you practice reflexology still, so that's fine. Now then, do you just practice reflexology, or do you practice other therapies as well?
Okay, I'm not going to say I only practice reflexology. I'm going to say I specialise. Yes, I specialise in reflexology. I'm very passionate about reflexology, as everybody knows, and I just want to stay true to that and be known in my area as the reflexologist to go to.
Yes.
And I know that I do have clients that have come to me for that reason. One lady actually said to me, "I've come to you because you're not a jack of all trades." Which I thought was really interesting because she'd obviously seen other practitioners with extensive treatment menus, but she wanted somebody who she felt was specialist in that field, and that's what I do.
So you're kind of using that like as your USP, your unique selling point. You actually trade on it.
Yes. Oh, most certainly. And there is nothing wrong with adding other strands to your business and adding other therapies. Some people have drawn to things like Reiki or massage, whatever it is, and you all have to follow the path that your business wants to follow. But for me personally, I really want to specialise in reflexology. It's my passion, and I don't think I feel the same about other therapies, if I must admit.
It's interesting because it's the same sort of thing. I get some people that come to the school and they've done other therapies and maybe they've done like sort of an introductory into a whole load of different therapies and they say, but it's been the reflexology that has really floated their boat, so to speak, and they want to get into it and specialise in it. And that's just wonderful.
Yeah, I think so. And, as a reflexologist, there's so much still for me to learn. And
the day we stop learning.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what excites me because, I've learned so much since 2008. There is still so much to learn.
There is.
It's evolving and growing all the time. So for me, going off in other tangents, I wouldn't feel I was doing reflexology a service.
That's a brilliant answer. Now then, are there any business do's or don'ts that you would recommend for new reflexologists?
Okay,
That's a good question,
it is a good one. I like that. So, first of all, do a business plan.
Right.
And sometimes when people hear the word business plan, they think, ooh, horror, don't know what I'm doing, it's all scary, corporate. It doesn't have to be complicated. It can be really simple. So just basic facts such as how many hours am I going to work? Where am I going to work? How much money do I need to earn? What type of clients do I want to see? What are my specialisms? What's my USP? We've talked about that. And get those facts really concrete, set a good foundation. Look at your marketing, right, how am I going to market myself? Website, Facebook page, business card, talks. And just set it all out, have a really good foundation.
So you know where you're going and where you're going to get your business from. So important.
It's really important because what happens if we don't do that is we drift.
Yes.
And we drift from month to month, not really achieving what we want to. Maybe booking on CPD courses that we don't need at that time. So spending money that we've not really got to spend. And it's
because it's a business.
It is a business.
And you wouldn't just fritter your money away if it was a proper job. If I could call it that.
No, indeed.
But because it's so frustrating. You see some people, they just go CPD after CPD. I'm thinking, hang on, they're spending more money than they're actually making.
Yeah. So be really honest about
Yes.
it and set a good foundation in a business plan. You don't have to show it to anyone. It's not like you've got to take it to the bank or you're asking for loans of money or anything like that. Just have it for your own purpose.
Yeah.
To give yourself that good foundation for your business.
That's a very good
And you can tweak it. I tweak mine.
Gosh, they should be fluid.
Yeah, I tweak mine regularly. I've got targets up on my pinboard in my office, and I tweak those. Just continually assess and reevaluate where you're at.
Yeah.
And then in terms of a don't feel you've got to spend huge amounts of marketing.
Oh, gosh.
Don't do it. I did it. And I know lots of other people do. They have, I did Yellow Pages adverts, which...
Who are Yellow Pages now?
I'm showing my age. Some of the younger students, reflexologists going, what is Kelly talking about? But yeah, I took out Yellow Pages adverts. I put adverts in the local church magazine. Spent lots of money in the early days, and you don't need to, especially now.
Return.
No, and especially now because we've got, you can set a Facebook page up for free.
Yes.
You can set up an Instagram account for free.
Yes.
And you can access hundreds of people for free.
Yeah. And they are your, as it were, sales agents working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
And if you've got content that a client connects with, what are they going to do? They're going to share it, and they're going to share it with their friends and their family.
Yeah.
They may not do it publicly. They may do it via a private message, but they're still sharing your business.
Which gets back to almost a digital word of mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. You have your face-to-face word of mouth, so out in the real world, so to speak. Yeah. But there is very much a digital word of mouth happening now.
Yes.
Because some of my clients are very private, so they don't share publicly, and they don't tag on the posts that they will share privately.
Can I tell you what happened with one of my? Because you might like this.
Okay.
And you don't know this story. One of my graduates, she had a client that came to her, and this client said, "Oh, could I just do some Facebook while I'm having a treatment?" And she says, "Yeah, okay." Then if you want to, because the client's paying some amount of what they want.
Time. Yep.
She started live casting it on Facebook.
Oh my gosh.
And it turned out this lady ran something like a WI group.
Interesting.
And she's actually telling everybody that was in her group, you need to come and see this girl. And it's like, whoa!
Wow, that's phenomenal.
And the floodgates opened. They really, really
It's
do.
really powerful.
Yeah.
I've got some clients that are very private on social media. So they follow my accounts, but they never like or comment.
No.
They just want to keep in the loop, so to speak.
Yeah.
I've got other clients who are really public about the fact that they come to me.
But that's personality.
Absolutely.
Everybody's different.
We're all different. But if you're not on it, none of that can happen.
No.
If you haven't got your Facebook business page, none of that can happen because you can't be tagged in or shared or you're not.
So you're closing
visible.
the door to it completely if you're not there.
Yeah, and then other businesses could potentially.
That sounds a little bit like the lottery thing. You've got to be in it to win it.
Absolutely. We like a cheesy slogan.
Thanks, Griffin. So, how do you, coming to the Love Reflexology page, how do you ensure or regulate that the quality of all the posts for accuracy?
This is really important to me because I feel Love Reflexology should first of all have a very positive tone, a very supportive tone, but it's got to be professional as well.
Yes.
So I look at every post.
Every
post. I keep an eye on everything, and there have only been a few occasions where I've had to actually delete comments that have been either rude or inappropriate or inaccurate. And I do delete them, and I do delete them straight away. And what happens is the person will then receive a set of rules as to why it's been deleted, so they get to understand why. And it might be something like offensive or unpolite language. It could be as simple as that, and then they can make a decision then on what they want to do next.
Yes.
But overall, the tone and everything in the group is always really supportive.
I have to say, being on Love Reflexology myself as a member, you're absolutely right. It is so supportive. It's a lovely place.
Thank you. I mean, we're all human, and there are times when there are going to be difference of opinion.
Oh gosh.
You've got to bear in mind you've got reflexologists from all over the world, from all levels of qualification, different associations. So there are going to be times when there will be difference of opinion.
Yes.
But it's how that's kind of managed.
Yeah.
And sometimes I can sense conversations starting to get a bit spiky. It doesn't happen very often.
And you just need to nip it in the bud or turn it around a bit.
With a bit of positive language and kind of say, everybody, let's just keep it positive.
Yeah.
Interesting ones like the whole level 3, level 5
discussion.
Yeah,
I've seen those,
which is always a really delicate issue for people.
It does seem to be so contentious.
Yeah, it does.
But it's just a number.
Yeah.
Now, to prove it.
Okay.
Guess what level reflexology I am? Because as you know, I teach the level 5.
So it won't be level 5 because, like me, level 5 didn't exist when I start, because I'm level 3. So I'd say you're probably a level 3.
Level 3. Do you want to go higher or lower?
I really don't know then.
I am level nothing.
Level nothing.
Level
wow.
nothing. Leveling didn't exist years ago.
we won't say the year.
But no, it didn't. It just wasn't there.
How interesting.
And so I did. Obviously, you're AOR, I think, aren't you?
Yes. Yep.
I did the AOR's course.
Okay.
And it didn't have a level at the time that I did it. But it was seen as the best course that there was
at
the time.
Right.
Now we have a thing in the UK called Grandad status.
Okay.
So if you qualified at the highest that you could be at the time, you are still the highest
Interesting.
today. So anybody that did level 3, when level 3 was the highest, you are still the highest.
Right. So I've learned something
Simple
today.
as.
That's very
Simple
interesting.
As. So you don't need. Put it like this. You were trained by Ali, weren't you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you think your training was good?
Excellent.
There you go.
Absolutely excellent.
So you actually don't feel the need to do the level 5?
No, because I left, when I left with Ali, I felt competent and ready to go into the world as a business owner and practice with my clients.
Yeah. And you would have been superbly trained by her. As hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, I was going to say millions.
Yeah.
It's not. But hundreds and hundreds of reflexologists were. And so actually, if you don't think that there was something wrong with your training, then you don't need the level 5. Having said that, there are some people who don't feel that their training was as good as it could be. Then that's another ballpark. That's another matter altogether.
Absolutely. And I've seen situations in the group where people have done perhaps an online introductory course to reflexology. And, they thought that was what you did. That was the training that was available. Yeah. But being part of Love Reflexology, they thought, wow, there's actually, there's a level 3 course, there's a level 5 course. Yeah. And they're now saying, actually my training perhaps wasn't where I wanted it to be or what I deserve it to be. Yeah. So they're going on and training with level 3 or 5 and extending their knowledge,
brilliant,
which is fantastic.
There is, that would always be to be encouraged. To develop?
Yes.
To expand?
Yeah, absolutely.
But also, of course, that's where CPD comes in as well.
So if you do have gaps in your knowledge, if you've done a level 3 like I have, and maybe you're not 100% confident or happy with the training you had, get on some good CPD courses because you can fill the gaps with those knowledge. There are so many excellent CPD courses out there. Go onto the Love Reflexology directory. There are so many incredible,
brilliant courses.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. So if you're feeling low on confidence on a particular area, get onto one of those courses. Yeah. It's fantastic.
And we are going to be getting as many of the CPD providers onto this channel as well, so that people can get the inside track on all of that.
That's great.
So. Would you say it's important? Oh, this brings us perfect segue into it.
I like it.
Important to keep up to date with the changes in reflexology, and how would you do that?
Absolutely, because as business owners and reflexologists, the thing I love about it is we're always growing and learning. So I keep up to date by reading things like the AOR's Reflections magazine.
Brilliant magazine.
Superb articles, lots of the latest news and information there. Facebook group is also very informative, so I'm always reading that. There's a lot online which we can be tapping into. Research links, keep up to date with that.
Oh gosh, yes.
You can then share that with your clients.
Yeah.
Pop it onto your website if you want to, and it really validates.
That's it. Evidence.
Yeah. And it makes us more credible. So keep up to date with all of that kind of thing. I also believe that you should keep up to date with health and well-being news and trends, full stop.
How popular is that now?
It's huge. You've only got to go onto Instagram to see the amount of hashtags for well-being and wellness.
Yes.
It is huge. So keep up to date with that. Look at BBC Health, see what's going on there. I often share articles from that to my clients that it's relevant to. So it might be a treatment for the menopause. It might be the latest sort of hot potato on stress and well-being in that area. So keep up to date with that, because it's become really apparent, just looking on Instagram in particular, stress and well-being, mental health is the real kind of hot topic at the moment.
And we are all part of that health and wellness industry.
So if you understand that you're part of it, I feel as reflexologists we've got a very important role to play there.
Yes. Because
reflexology is extremely relaxing. It provides a confidential space for people. So we can support those people that are experiencing stress, fatigue and burnout, and provide that for them. So do keep up to date with the wellness trends and what's going on in the world and the bigger picture, because we are part of it.
Indeed.
So get your reflexology knowledge, but also get the bigger picture of health and well-being as well.
Because you just don't know what you're going to be asked by your clients.
Indeed. And a lot of my clients now, especially the younger generation, are very well read.
And they'll expect us to know.
Yes, they do. They're very well read. I love Dr. Chaster's books. I listen to his podcast. My clients are now buying his stuff. They're listening to his podcast. They want to talk about these things. They want to talk about the bigger issues. They're really informed. And if we're not,
it's not going to look
so good. So do keep up to date with things. Absolutely.
Now, the last question from our viewers. Is there one treatment that sticks in your mind?
Oh gosh. To be honest, I'm working over in Leicestershire since 2008. I couldn't pick one because the pure reason they're all special in their own way. They've all had something unique about them. So it might be that I've worked with a bereaved client and supported them through their grief journey. And when you see them just looking a little bit brighter and coping better with life, that is incredibly rewarding for me. And then on the other hand, I might be working with a new mum-to-be, and she's heavily pregnant, you can see bump moving, and they are incredibly special.
Oh, absolutely.
And you feel very lucky to be part of that, part of their life. So I couldn't pick one because all of my clients are unique. Each treatment is unique for all kinds of reasons. And I just feel very lucky that so many people have chosen me to be their reflexologist in Leicestershire and supported my business. They're just all so special.
That actually couldn't be a better answer. That was very, very lovely answer.
Thank you.
Kelly, I have learned so much today. It's been an absolute delight interviewing you. I hope that everybody watching has enjoyed sharing a cup of coffee with us and learning about you too. Thank you so much for having me here to do this. Coming up, we have got Laura Marast. She's our next interview. She's the operations manager at Reflexology Association of Canada. And you may know that they've got their huge reflexology conference coming up, end of April, beginning of May. And what we're going to be getting is the really exciting inside track as to sort of what goes on into setting up a big conference like that. So that's going to be really, really good to look out for. And all I would say is thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed today's episode, then please do give it a thumbs up on the little links below. And if you want to be informed by YouTube as to when the next episode is coming up, do remember to click the subscribe button as well. So may I just wish you all much health and much happiness, and I look forward to seeing you next time.